Fox News just posted a video saying they're not human. Watch government officials break silence on non-human life. We'll look into that, this whole alien disclosure, the alien psyop, or what I like to call it, what I believe, the alien deception. Also some updated footage coming out from off the coast of New York of UAPs, and kind of in relation to the whole New Jersey drones thing. And then we'll watch this guy who drilled into a supposed UFO, fell to the ground. This is a video going around on TikTok. And just to start it off real quickly before we get into that, because I did find this weird, never before seen NASA images of Comet 3i Atlas are coming on Wednesday, November 19th. NASA will finally share long-awaited images of interstellar object 3i Atlas taken during the comet's close flyby of Mars. A live stream has been set for Wednesday, November 19th. So they're going live tomorrow and showing some new images of this. Supposedly images they've had the whole time. For some reason, they weren't releasing it, blaming it on the shutdown. We'll see what comes of that. There are more anomalies and stuff surrounding it, but I don't think much more is going to come from that 3i Atlas at this moment, but we'll see. So let's take a watch of this Fox News video again, titled, "They're Not Human. Watch government officials break silence on non-human life."
Tonight, we get a first look at a new documentary on UAPs and what government officials may know about top secret programs on the subject. It features testimony from 34 high-ranking government officials. My colleague Brett Baer speaks with the director and producer of The Age of Disclosure.
We've had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
They have both deactivated and activated nuclear weapons with both the United States and Russia.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
The UAP activity surrounding nuclear weapons is not a historic issue. It's an ongoing issue.
Well, joining us now to talk about his new film, The Age of Disclosure, is director and producer Dan Farah. He says the documentary...
So we got to keep in mind, too, all this while, the government has been saying conspiracy theory for believing this stuff. This doesn't exist. Swamp gas, crashed air balloons, weather balloons, and stuff like that. Now they're coming out and saying they're turning off nuclear weapons. There's non-human life. These things are real. They're from other planets. So everybody's just going to believe the people who have been lying the whole time with the new information they come out and say, right? Now they're going to tell us the truth. Well, I think there's a big deception still connected to it. And whatever comes of this whole alien thing, yeah, for sure will be some alien deception. It is non-human life, but what it is the spiritual fallen entities that are trying to deceive humanity away from biblical truth. That's what we're battling against here.
The documentary reveals an 80-year cover-up of non-human intelligent life and a secret war among major nations to reverse engineer advanced technology of non-human origin. The film will be released in select theaters in New York, Washington, and Los Angeles on November 21st. Also available worldwide to purchase and rent on Prime Video. Dan, thanks for being here. You've been working on this for more than 3 years, and you say this is going to be a groundbreaking documentary.
Yeah. I interviewed 34 extremely high-level military, government intelligence officials who all have direct knowledge of this issue. Much of what they know is classified, but in this film, they break their silence on what they can.
I don't want to be hard on this guy. I don't know who he is. He might be a genuine dude, but it just reminded me of something similar that we saw recently. We've seen this a few times too, when they come out and they're trying to talk about something sensitive about some issue, and they come out with somebody who's like really soft-spoken and it seems really nice. Again, not to be hard on the guy. I don't know. He could be a good guy, but I don't know. That did catch things off a little bit from you, like right off the bat. Like, there's so much psyop and so much control around all of this subjects that we just have to be really on alert with all this stuff. I mean, we've got people, different countries paying people on podcasts to put forth their narratives. I mean, we're not just getting like a clear playing field and everyone who says who they are is what they say they are. Keep that in mind.
Lawfully disclose.
I mean, there's a lot of skepticism, as you know. There's a lot of stigmatism about this issue. But as you're talking to all of these people and you're building these blocks for this movie, you get to the point where it's not a matter of if it's happening or if it's real.
Yeah. So every single person I interviewed made it very clear that it was no longer a question of whether this was a real situation. It's a very real situation.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone. Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human.
The questions now are, who's controlling these UAP? Where do they come from? And what is their intention?
This sounds, I mean, it's hard for everybody to digest.
Sounds biblical to me, because the Bible has been saying ever since it was written that we have non-human intelligence at work in the world, either fighting against or fighting for humanity, i.e. really angels, God, the Holy Spirit, any of his heavenly hosts, and then Satan and his fallen hosts, trying to all deceive humanity. That's what's been going on. That's what's continuing to go on. And that's why it's always connected to this phenomenon every single time. I mean, there's so many testimonies of people calling on Jesus and these things go away. That wouldn't happen if there wasn't a spiritual component to it. And it happens like the majority of the time. So there's definitely something bigger going on here. It is non-human, but it's not guys from another planet or entities or beings from another planet. That's for sure.
And an 80-year cover-up with a country that keeps it deep and dark, and it hasn't gotten out. That's the tough part for people to buy in.
But now it's getting out. Again, why is it coming out now? And are we supposed to believe the people who've been lying for past 80 years on this thing, and now they're going to tell us the truth on it all of a sudden? We got to be very careful that they could be putting forth another lie that they want us to believe.
Yeah, so a number of the officials in my film make it clear that a long time ago, this topic was moved away from congressional oversight and even away from the oversight of the President of the United States. And there are certain elements within our government and within defense contractors that have really been gatekeeping the knowledge about this topic.
And there are people in this film who are respected in their fields who say they have seen these craft and have seen the recovered non-human bodies.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
They go on the record about the fact that there have been crashed craft that have been recovered. In some cases, there's been non-human bodies in these craft, they claim. These are people who are putting their reputation and their names on the line. You know, often you hear people say, show me the evidence. In my opinion, 34 extremely credible people putting their name and reputation on the line is the best evidence, because
it could be, but who are these people and who's paying them? Who's helping them? Like what organization are they still with? A lot of these people still work for the Pentagon, have NDAs that they sign. So it's like, what exactly are they telling us? Are they giving us real information? 34 people putting their necks on the line to push forth a narrative. That'd be pretty easy. I mean, how many people does Congress and the United States government, fund and supply who are pushing forth narratives and lies consistently? I mean, just look at how many people within the higher levels of government who are obviously insider trading. And so, I mean, that's a pretty high number of people. So wouldn't be hard to find 34 people to just go and put forth whatever narrative you want in relation to UAPs and aliens and all that.
We live at a time where you can put a video or a photo out and half the people out there will say it's fake or
AI and everything else. The title is Age of Disclosure. And do you think that this is going to start something bigger? The premise of this is that there is a race to reverse engineer what has been recovered by different countries, essentially competing against one another.
Yeah. So one of the big reveals in the film that a number of the interview subjects share is that elements of the U.S. government are in a high-stakes secret Cold War race with adversarial nations like China and Russia to reverse engineer technology of non-human origin.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
We won the...
I mean, it's weird to think that now all of this is coming out and they're making such, massive claims like that. China, Russia, United States all have these secret programs to reverse engineer craft. So multiple countries, these world powers in the world have the technology of they are fallen, but of crafts that have crashed here on the earth. And they're all back engineering this, and none of this has been leaked. I mean, how is none of this being leaked? That's the thing that's just not adding up. We're getting huger claims every single day, UFO hearings, all this stuff. And we are getting there is a real phenomenon associated with this. But when they start to get into the whole machine stuff, the crashed craft, and all this stuff that they're back engineering supposedly, how is there no evidence at all of this whatsoever from any nation at all? Or even just somebody? Obviously, these things aren't all crashing on government property. There's no video, no pictures of these things that are crashed on like somebody's, someone else's property. Not to mention, how are these things traveling thousands of light years away, millions of light years away, and they all seem to be crashing on the earth? Well, the only explanation for that is the one that people put forth, is that these things, they're donating technology for us to be advanced. That doesn't make sense to me either. If they really cared, they would just come and fix stuff and all that. And again, it doesn't even fit into the biblical narrative of creation. It's obviously a fallen phenomenon, but things are not adding up here is kind of what I'm pointing at.
Atomic race, and We used the bomb to end World War II, and we became the definitive superpower for the next 100 years as a result. The fear here is that if another nation wins this race, it could really change the lay of the land in terms of power.
But for the people who are still skeptical, still can't get their head around it, they're going to watch this, maybe they'll have their eyes opened, but many might ask, why now? Why is it happening now?
So for a very long time, the public, Congress, and even the president have been kept out of the loop on this subject. In the last few years, senior members of Congress, senior members of the administration, thanks to whistleblowers, have found out what's been going on, and they are now in pursuit of the truth for themselves and for the American people.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis, but that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
I think it's only a matter of time at this point before we have a sitting president step to the microphone and have the biggest moment a leader can possibly have, which is telling all of humanity that we're not alone in the universe and that the United States intends to lead the way.
Well, prepare when that happens, because that's very likely to happen. And if it does, we're, in my opinion, and it really most certainly fits in with the Bible prophecies, that there's huge deceptions coming, probably connected to the Antichrist, the false prophet, the world leaders, the 10 kingdoms that the Antichrist controls, even the 3 spirits that come out and go and deceive the whole world, or the kings of the earth gather together to fight with the Antichrist. It says they look like frogs. What do these aliens look like, these grays? Well, they look like frogs. It could all be connected, and for sure. And again, it just, none of this fits in with Bible prophecy, with the creation story of Genesis. So if you're a Bible-believing Christian, which you should be, because it's very true, and if you study it and research it, you'll find the Bible's 100% true. None of it fits in with that. The only thing that does fit in are the fallen forces that the Bible tells us exist, that war against humanity to lead us away from the truth, and that are going to be revealed upon the earth even more and more as we head into the last days.
Could it be President Trump?
I think it could be. I think Rubio is one of the most informed people in the United States with regard to this topic. And right now he's our Secretary of State and our National Security Advisor. And I know that he considers this an extremely important topic.
If you were to say, what's one thing that people take out of this hour? Obviously, the bombshell of what all of these people are saying. But where do you think it goes from here? There's such a stigma around talking about this, and people joke about it. This seems like it takes it to a different place.
In our country, we have this very antiquated stigma around the topic. If someone said, hey, there's this constant terrorist threat, terrorists are penetrating the airspace over nuclear weapon sites, who would laugh at that? It makes no sense.
Right. November 21st, it comes out, and it'll be all over the country?
Yeah, so worldwide on Prime Video for purchase or rent, or in fee.
So that's it. Age of Disclosure coming out. We'll see. Again, not too informed on who this guy is or the documentary itself. Could be good. He could have good intentions. But I just makes me wonder why all of a sudden are the people who have been lying for 80 years now coming out and saying the truth, and that they actually care about finding the truth and getting to the bottom of the issue. And if that is real, then what are the forces who have been secretly holding this information back doing about it to try to cover it up? They could also, they're the ones controlling the hidden information. They could be giving out whatever they want to lead the conversation in whatever direction that they want it to go. If that cover up is real, then how are we expected to get to the bottom of the truth? They're just going to come out and do it? I don't think so. They're going to, again, put forth another lie, another deception. That's what all this fits into. We know huge deceptions are coming upon the earth, and I think there's a high likelihood this connects to it. Now, here's some interesting footage from, this is actually from News Nation. Here's the full video here. Citizen journalists find 3 UAP in New York. Watch their videos. This is kind of like in relation to the New Jersey drone stuff. Here's this channel, Christina Gomez. She did clips of this, of this orb thing that was flying over the ocean. I did find it interesting. And, the phenomenon is real, but again, there's a deception associated with it 100%. And I think it's demonic, fallen angels, spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places, principalities and powers, Ephesians 6:12. And that's what we're seeing here. And they're manifesting more and more into our reality. And I think that's what this is here, kind of in connection, again, to the whole New Jersey drone thing.
On July 5th, 2025, the team captured something crazy. A luminous sphere was detected 140 yards offshore at Robert Moses State Park, sitting on the surface of the Atlantic Ocean.
This was invisible to the eye, completely invisible. It was only through the hyperspectral cameras.
Wow. Were you getting it on radar?
Nothing on radar. And the object might have been too small for radar anyway. And it was also close on the ocean surface, so we would get kind of a we would get a reflection from the water. It's not something that can't be distinct between, whether or not it's a separate entity from the water, especially that close.
An object invisible to the human eye, but clearly visible on multiple sensor systems. It was self-illuminating, producing no reflected light on the water, and here's where it gets truly strange. When viewed through the thermal camera, the object registered as colder than the surrounding seawater. Now that violates basic thermodynamics. Anything generating energy should be warmer than its environment, not colder. Ross asked the obvious question about how this object was moving.
Do you think this object that you saw on the 5th of July, do you think it was moving intelligently? Was it sort of maneuvering in a way that was clearly under some kind of propulsion?
Yes, it was definitely an intelligent control over it. It was changing direction. Like I said, it was stationary, moved to the east a ways, and then it made a turn towards the shoreline.
The object moved against the wind with no visible propulsion, no sound, and intelligently controlled direction. The team ruled out every conventional explanation, including birds, boat lighting, and atmospheric phenomena.
This team, they've been watching off the coast of New York for many years, even before the whole New Jersey drone things, quite a few years. And they've been documenting different things, and they back it and check it against all of the different radar systems, against known flights in the area. And so when they catch these anomalies, like this orb going off of the water here, then it's pretty interesting. And it's some sort of manifestation. And that's what the whole orbs things are. A lot of the drones footage that came out from New Jersey was definitely drones. Very obvious, the lights, the blinking, some sort of drone. We still don't have the answers on that. I mean, there was something going on. For sure, the United States knew about it. I think they were involved. There could have also been, at the time, foreign adversaries taking advantage of that. We saw lots of drones coming up over the ocean, off the ocean, going back out there, off to sea, out to ships. But then at the same time, so many people looking up, and so many things going on, as they always are. These orbs were manifesting, getting shot at, getting shot down, disabling drones. I mean, it was a very weird time, and we still have no answers to that. And again, here is now more footage of these things. That's not even, again, visible with the naked eye, but they caught it on one of their infrared cameras. So these are manifestations, in my opinion, from the spiritual veil that are coming into our reality more. And the Bible tells us that the Holy Spirit restrains against these evil forces. And once the day comes where the restrainer, the Holy Spirit, is lifted, then these things wreak havoc and break full force on the earth. It doesn't say obviously specifically aliens or anything like that, but the spiritual forces and deceptions at work. So I think that's what we're seeing. Maybe these things are breaking into our reality more and more, as the restrainer is allowing them to come in, so people can, I guess, get a glimpse of what is coming, and maybe hopefully lead some from the deceptions of the alien deceptions that God didn't create the earth, the deceptions that evolution is real off on these other planets, and these things are existing, which would make the Bible not appear to be real, and so that they can be saved before the restrainer is fully lifted and the end times begin. That's my opinion on it, and I think that makes sense. That's going to happen one way or another, whether the alien thing fits into it or not. We know that that's going to happen. Bible prophecy predicts it. And I think the fact that this whole phenomenon is happening at the same time means that it's going to play into all of that. Now, kind of in relation to this, to cover up some of all the UAP, UFO news, or not all of it, but some of it going on right now, this video was posted on YouTube. This guy, James D6I9N, and he supposedly found this rod. And we'll let this play a bit here. He decides to drill into it. He found it a while ago. He'd been posting videos online about how he found this rod. He says it's a UAP. He says he feels weird by it. It makes him sick. This kind of reminds me of the whole alien meteorite thing that happened in Peru recently, which turned out to be a fake. And the guy just has a very strange channel. When you look at the other videos on his channel, just saying updates of random things. It's just none of it really makes sense. And I don't know. The weirdest part about all this for me is that how right when he does this drill thing, as he begins to drill into this, you can see, I guess the light is actually from the flashlight from his drill. But again, here we see him drill into this. This just happened. He drills into this UAP supposedly, and we'll watch what happens.
It has power. It's immobilized. So don't do it.
It's got these kind of like letters on it and symbols, kind of similar to like the Buga sphere. that was found in South America recently. Again, not sure what that whole thing is. The guy connected to that has been connected to a lot of UFO hoaxes in the past.
Sponsor, there is no
Let's
sponsor.
watch this.
I hope somebody will at least save this in case I die. It's just making me feel bad already, but I started to. What is that? No, 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 I'm sorry.
And that's just kind of how it goes. He goes on saying and sounding like that for the next 40 seconds or so. So he was on live stream, said he was drilling into this thing. When he drills, he turns around, that orb is there. He falls over, says he's sorry. It sounds almost like possessed. People are saying he died on stream, but he didn't. He's been posting again. He's okay. I don't know. I think that this is, well, you know, I don't really know if I believe the whole machine theory, what's connected to this. I know there's spiritual deceptions associated with this. To me, it seems like it's more orbs manifesting in our reality. The fallen angels had a big role in the past. They did a lot of stuff. I think they helped build the megalithic structures like the pyramids of Egypt in the past. And so the possibility of them, wherever they went now, to be able to create machines is possible, especially if what was told to us in the book of Enoch is genuine, how they were teaching humankind how to make weapons and metalwork and stuff. How would they know how to work with metal and stuff? Maybe they figured this out, but whatever they're doing to harness this stuff, to move around, to do anything that they're doing, it's through spiritual deception. They're coming in and out of our reality the same way that demons or ghost encounters happen. So none of this fits in with a physical, with physics at all, or a physical phenomenon. Everything connected to it is spiritual. Here, gone, 1 second, the next. Again, just like we know, and just like how we read in the Bible about how angels appear, they disappear, they come and help somebody for a moment, take them out of the jail for the minute, and then they're gone. Same exact thing. That's what the fallen angels, in my opinion, are doing here. So, not falling for this. I don't think this is legitimate, but figured I'd add it in because it is new UAP news. But no matter what we are seeing here is the move to disclosure. They're not human. This is government officials, government talk. This is what's going on now. This is now part of our reality, and kind of hard to deny that it's not going to play into the future. And what we know is told to us in the Bible is coming in the future. Big deceptions, fallen leaders, the Antichrist, false prophet, 10 kingdoms rising up and helping the Antichrist take over the world. So kind of hard to not imagine that this is not going to fit into this whole scenario one way or another. So ultimately, what really matters is that we believe in Jesus, trust in him. He gives all truth to us, and that as many people get saved before the restrainer of the Holy Spirit is lifted from the earth. So I pray that you will believe in Jesus, read the Bible, seek out his truth. He will lead you in all truth, and I pray he will for us all. Thanks for watching. God bless.